Y'all know me, Big the Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in a twist street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel. Enjoy the show. Ayy.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic. Two big guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime. Ooh, that was quick. My man was ready. My man was ready. Yes.
Hey, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we are back with another episode of your favorite podcast. Don't front, because you know that it is. I don't even remember what number episode is this. Where are we at?
8, I think 8
of the new season. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, when you create so many episodes, I mean, I'm not gonna say you lose track. I mean, if all you gotta do is number them, I guess. But
right.
Because if you were to ask like the producer of The Simpsons, how many episodes do you have? They'll be able to tell you.
Too many.
Like way too many. Like y'all, they've been making episodes since we've been born.
Right.
And I'm like, man, y'all still alive?
And every last episode has come to fruition. That's crazy.
Dude, man, listen, we were gonna try to keep it on topic today, but I don't know, man. Somebody behind the scenes with that show that knows something that everybody else don't. Now, I didn't even realize that until like maybe about a good, I don't know how many years back, about 10, 15 years ago, when I started realizing they're starting to like predict the future here a little bit, but some people just super skeptical and you can't really tell them anything. Like, it's kind of hard to say that it's not, because it is happening.
Right.
It's just not. At some point, you got to stop being stupid, man, and look at it and say, yeah, they just know something we don't. Which,
right?
Again, I don't know, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, I mean, I was just about a good 25 minutes ago, I was like knocked out on the floor back here. Came home from church, and I don't know why it's like this. You may feel like me, I don't know, but I leave church and I'm tired when I come home. Like I didn't do nothing. At least I didn't think I did anything physically, but apparently I did do something, spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
You go to church, you sing, you praise and worship, and we ain't them type of people that just sit there with our hands in our pocket. Like, nah, we giving God glory, praise, we worship, and then taking in the message, and went to the grocery store afterwards, picked a few things up, came home, ate a little something, laid back here. Got my TV on back here. It's got I don't know what's the name of this I can't remember. It's a channel. It's a free channel that has like different sceneries, like rivers, mountains, and just land, like nature and stuff, and this relaxing music. And I fell asleep, man. I was reading a book I had got recently, and just fell asleep. And wife, she came in here. She said she kicked me. I know you in the chat. I don't know why you kicked me. She ain't like pointed or nothing like that. But she kicked me like, hey, man, you still doing the podcast? I'm like, yeah. Got up. She brought me a cup of water. I said, man, it's just right there. I just need to get up, sit down, and and just kind of hope and pray everything working the way it's supposed to work.
That's hilarious.
95% chance everything is working. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not, what is a podcast or a stream without technical issues? So, all right.
and we've been pretty blessed to not have a lot of issues.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, yeah. Well, just a little briefing, man. How was your week last week? How's life treating you?
Life is good. Um, it's it. Last week was it was really good. I mean,
Yeah,
just work for the most part. Um, this is this week is going to be a very crucial week because we do finally go live with the project I've been working on. So hopefully, um, everything runs smooth. Not too many crazy issues or anything like that. Um, but for the most part, it's been really well. Yesterday, um, I participated in I participated slash volunteered at the diabetes walk here in town, and everybody, all the kids came over to our tent because I had Roblox set up and
nice.
stuff. So it was definitely a fun time. Um, Miss Beardy came out there. She walked the lap with us, and for the most part, just relaxed all weekend.
Mm.
Juicy,
Okay.
welcome in, sis.
Welcome on the Twitch and the YouTube side. Okay.
On both of them.
Look,
Both of them sides, Juicy.
you gotta love the fans that do both sides, man. Because I think we all have an account on both sides. I'd say
Yeah.
we appreciate that. Thank you, and happy Sunday.
Yes. We are doing well. Well, I know I'm doing well. I'm sure D's doing well is also. But it's another day of blessings to be alive, and we just moving it day by day.
I'll tell you, man. I think it's really important that we because at church today, pastor said something that made me think. He's like, sometimes for him, he's busy, real busy, of course. He's like, there's this place that he likes to go, which is not far from his house, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll park. I don't know why, but that's just a place. He'll park over there in his car and shut everything off, roll the windows up to where it's like sealed shut, quiet, and just pause, so he can hear God speaking to him. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, sometimes we just need to stop and reflect on everything that we're thankful for and everything that we have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not that we forget. I just think that we lose sight of it
Yes.
because we're like, I gotta work, I got kids, I gotta do this, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
do that. I'm just really, really distorted. Social media, news, all that stuff, and shut all that down and just be like, man, I'm blessed. And
Right.
I got no reason to be mad about nothing, right? And yeah, that for me, I'm doing great. I really am. My week was nice. I had a really good week, to be honest, real good week. Not it's crazy. It was great, but it wasn't super busy. So that's a kind of
Mm-hmm.
a perfect storm. I ended up getting some rest that I needed. I think that's why I was asleep a little bit before the podcast. I feel like I needed some rest. He's been making sure I get rest, man, because I would tell you and the guys, man, workhorse right here, man. But this is a season of restoration for me.
Yeah,
You feel me?
for,
So,
for sure.
but yeah, last week was great. Real good. Um, my dad came in town on Friday and we went fishing, me, him, and my sons, my kids, and
Oh, that's
we
cool.
we stayed out at the pier. He was willing to stay as long as we wanted to stay. Let's just put it like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he, after working a good portion of the day, took off early, came over because he stays in another city, which he ain't that far. And we stayed out there from about maybe, I mean, I know this isn't very long for fishing, but about maybe 6 to almost 11 o'clock last night. And the kids started getting tired.
Oh, that's a good amount.
They were like, man, I'm thinking, and they catch some fish. They caught some fish. They were excited. It was a great time. It was the first time, honestly, that they had done that, and it was just a really, really good experience for them, for me, my dad. It was nice. It was
That's
nice.
what's up.
Yeah, it was nice. And yesterday, really wasn't a busy day. I was off yesterday. Enjoyed myself. I think the most I did was go for a walk, like a really long walk yesterday, because I do that if I know I don't have to be somewhere at a certain time,
Mm-hmm.
so I can just kind of do what I want to do, how I want to do it right then and there. So, and then today church, and then after this podcast, we're gonna go to the fair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the fair's in town.
Nice.
You know, the kids, are we going to the fair? Are we gonna go? At first, I was like, I don't know. But then one of my kids decided he wanted to be top of the class, and he ended up winning.
He decided.
Yeah. Well, I know, right? He got a free ticket to get in the fair for him.
Okay.
Free ticket for him. Free ticket for one adult, and a ticket for a parking admission. So.
Oh, nice.
So that's at least that's two people. That's two people I ain't got to pay for.
There you go.
And parking. So it's better than paying for the whole family.
Yeah.
You know,
you're right.
Yeah, the fair is expensive, and it's too expensive, to be honest with you, because I don't get on rides.
Yeah.
Do you get on rides?
I used to. So when I was younger, I would get on the rides at the fair.
Yeah.
When I got older, not so much. Now, if I got on any other ride, it'd have to be at like an amusement park. That's the only way I'm getting on a ride.
Yeah. I don't like rides. The food be So that kid, I don't understand why people go to the fair just to eat.
Yeah.
You know, they got the weirdest combinations, like fried butter, fried ice cream, fried everything, fried cotton candies.
Look, now those fried Oreos, they hit now. I had to give them that. The fried Oreos are nice.
It's one thing though, but I'm gonna just load up on this and then get on this ride that's gonna flip me inside out. Like, you just asking for it, man. Just asking for it.
Right.
I like to spectate. I like to just sit back, just watch people. see what's gonna happen to him.
And get off the ride.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, better you.
Right. Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. Well, everybody, again, thank y'all so much for tuning in, whether you are on the purple side or the red side. But if you are on the YouTube side, make sure you hit that like button, share the stream, subscribe if you're enjoying the content, all that good stuff. And if you're on Twitch and you're new to the channel, please make sure to follow us. We definitely appreciate your support. But we got a fire topic. Now, we say fire all the time, but this one's gonna be a very deep conversation for sure. Definitely a deep conversation. One millennial, welcome in. How are you, sir?
Yes.
So do you want to take this one? I need to turn my fan on because it's getting hot.
Yeah, I bought a fan from this discount store yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed right now, man. This thing blowing lukewarm, mediocre air. It's not blowing anything like I thought. I gotta get up on it to feel it, man. And dude, it's a little USB fan, right? Okay. I plugged it in. I'm like, okay, cool. And I look in the back, it's got a little switch, like on and off switch, and that's it. Like it ain't like 1, 2, 3. Like the intensity, it's just you get what you get.
Yeah.
I say, you know what, man? This is what I get for paying $7 for a fan. So I guess I got to at least pay $15 for a fan to get some little bit of intensity, I guess.
That's tough. That is tough.
Oh man. All right. So in today's episode, if you look at the title here, it says why ends? Why ends? How the world sees them and how and who they really are. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't know what the heck this meant until last week. I did not know. I had no clue. What was I doing? I was watching something. I don't know if it was YouTube or was it TikTok or something. And then I just kept hearing this term, like the YNs. Yeah, it was some guy I was watching, and he said, you ever watch one of those videos where somebody's like reacting and then they like it's a stitch, and then he came in and started talking. He said, yeah, YNs is they got switches, YNs, man. I don't know, I wouldn't mess with them. I'm like, what's that, man? Like, what is a YN? So I went to TikTok and typed in YNs, and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah. That's what we calling them now? Really?
That's what we calling them.
That's what we call them now. So it took me down a rabbit hole, and honestly, it's heartbreaking. Truth be told, it's heartbreaking. A lot of the videos I saw, and then I sent you maybe like one or two videos or something like that. I said, man, I don't think we ever talked about this before, man. We need to talk about this because it's a problem, man. It's just a serious problem.
Yeah.
And if you're lost right now, you don't know what YN means. It means young, not Negroes, but NIGGA. Because I feel like I don't say that word. I'm pretty sure you don't either. I don't really consider that to be the same thing as Negro, because it's not the same. It's a culture thing, and that's been accepted out of a derogatory term, embracing negativity. That's what I consider that word to be. And younger Black males have took it upon themselves to adopt the name YNs. Okay. These could be young men anywhere between the ages of 14, 15, 16, 17, teenagers for the most part, maybe even early 20s perhaps. You know, they still out running the streets and whatnot. And you know, this is something I've always known because it's a problem. It's definitely a problem in my city, for sure. I'm sure it's a problem where you are too. Where young Black men, we call them young men, around here just running rampant, out of control, no respect for nobody, no respect for human life, no respect for their own life, just living reckless. Okay. Fighting, shooting, robbing, just causing chaos and just wreaking havoc in their neighborhoods, which to me, that's just stupid, man. To terrorize your own neighborhood. Like, that just goes to show you the lack of like intelligence here within this thing you want to call YN, because it's not like they're going to the suburbs causing problems. They're not over here in my neighborhood causing problems. They just do it in their own hoods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like back in the day, I watched a documentary about the Crips and the Bloods. And originally it was a you know, they didn't really call it gangs back then. It's more like just family that came together and not really depending on law enforcement to protect their neighborhoods, you know, from crime and in some cases, and then outside people coming into the, you know, their neighborhoods causing problems. Because before there was a such thing as a hood or a gang, I mean, territorial wars and stuff was something that always was a thing.
Yeah.
You know, we could take it back to, New York and Jersey with the mafia and stuff like that. Like, it's the same thing.
Yep.
They got marked territory. Y'all can't come over here. This is fella Tellerilli's territory, or this is
Yeah.
Pacino's territory. Like, y'all got, hey, stay over there. We good. And that was what the Crips and the Bloods were. And then that just kind of turned into something else. Once drugs came to the picture, drugs screws up the minds of people
Mm-hmm.
and cause them to like act irrational and violent and all different type of stuff. But now it's not even really a Crip and a Blood thing. To be honest with you, man, I don't even know we even have that here. And if it is, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. Who would know like the gang affiliation organization and law enforcement will probably know because they keep tracks of that type of stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't see it. They definitely ain't walking around here doing this and with bandanas and stuff on their face. It's not like that no more. So now it's just
Ski
these
mask.
these ski masks. It's these
Mm-hmm.
kids that are just really terrorizing their cities.
Yeah.
And I would definitely consider them to be terrorists. In fact, even the National Guard considers them to be terrorists. Now, I don't know. Now, there was a story that happened. I don't know if you watched it or not, but did you hear about the story about the National Guard going to DC?
I didn't hear about the one in DC, but I knew about the one in Memphis.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Woo, Memphis, DC, a lot of just violence from younger black males. And the National Guard came in and they cleaned house. They cleaned house, man. And then, I saw one of the videos, somebody was like, hey, YG's went into hiding. And I'm like, well, why are you hiding? Y'all supposed to
Right.
be, y'all supposed to be not scared of nothing. Like you're out here shooting kids and adults and houses, shooting up houses, not knowing who's in the house, shooting cars. And like the video I saw the other day, they were recording themselves, just saying a bunch of gibberish for the most part, just eyeing every car that passed by them.
Yeah.
So it's like, you pass by their neighborhood, they scoping you out to see if they're gonna shoot you. And I'm like, man, this is not it, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the title couldn't have fit more better when it says how the world sees them versus who they really are. So I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, what is your experience? Because I was, hold on, before you answer that question, I was talking to my wife 2 days ago about this. I said, you know where they came from? They came from the people who ran the streets when we were their age. That's their parents. Like, we're their parents, the millennials.
Yeah.
Okay. And growing up, like I said, I wasn't like into that, but I did hang out in certain hoods and stuff. Shouldn't have been there, but I was, I had friends that were there, and it's, you want to be cool, and you just want to be accepted and stuff. But I never ran it and lived that life.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there were some guys that did, and some of them ended up having kids. Like, some of them had kids at 16, had kids at 17 years old. And here we are later, like 20 some years later, those little bitty kids that they had are the ones that's terrorizing their own neighborhoods. It's them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's them. So I'm like, man, like, no wonder y'all turned out like this.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
know?
For sure.
So yeah, man. Have you what's your experience with the YNs?
I mean, for me, I know them just stay away from it. Like, I mean, I see them all the time, but I just
all the time.
ain't. I just, I got stuff I gotta do. I ain't worried about y'all. As long as y'all
Right.
don't approach me, we cool. You know. But like you said just a minute ago, like YN's
Oh
been a
gosh.
thing for years. I mean, we
Yeah.
just started calling them YNs.
It's not
um,
new. It ain't
it
new.
is nothing new. And like for me, because I had friends that I mean, I don't think they were really gang affiliated, but like I'll take my friends. Man, I knew all the handshakes. Like so, just because I knew our handshakes didn't necessarily mean I was in a gang.
Right.
It was just me and my friends. We knew them all. But I mean, like you said, it basically stems back from the parents for the most part. How they lived back in their day, and it kind of trickled down to their children because nowadays, and this ain't saying I'm not putting all parents in one basket, but like most parents want you to have street smarts instead of book smart, because if you got a hustle mentality, you got to get it out there on the street.
Mm.
Um and then when they get around the people that they hang out with from school who happen to be like friends with maybe a gang member or a leader, then that
Yeah.
person starts teaching them the way of the YN life, and that's how they get put in, so but for me, my experience, I really hadn't had any experience with them.
Yeah, I see them all the time everywhere. Not everywhere. Like I said, where we live at, we don't really see them
Hmm.
because, like I said, we live in the northern part of the city. But when we start going like places like the mall, we'll see them there. And like I said, we're about to go to the fair. I
You'll
know they're gonna
definitely
be
see
out.
them there. Yep.
Oh gosh, so I remember like back in the day. We used to go to Midnight Madness. We had Midnight Madness at the fair on
Hmm.
Friday nights or Saturday. I don't know, one of the two. So you get in at like 11 or 12 and stay all night for the most part. And they would be out there. And this was like high school, brother. So again,
Oh yeah,
this is
most
not
definitely.
this is not new. Now back, I'm gonna tell you the difference between now and then. Back then, they would just beat the crap out of people.
We were
It
just
was just
fighting.
it was just fighting. Like there was nobody was shooting anybody. Like it wasn't like that. Like if you got beat up, they would do a lot of jumping, just beat the crap out of whoever, and then they would run
Hmm.
away. And then
Yep.
if they catch you somewhere else, it'll be fighting. Now it's really no fighting anymore. It's just they just trying to shoot you, which is why you're seeing a lot more of them like locked up now.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, we had an experience on Friday night, like when we went fishing, right? So me and my dad, my kids were out there, we fishing, and we were downtown at Palafox Pier. And I didn't realize it was like an event going on downtown. It's like, it's Halloween, a bunch of folks dressing up and stuff, partying, whatever. We got some clubs downtown. But this car pulled up, and they got out. It's about four of them. It's like two females and two males. They got out of the car, sat down on this bench, a little bit down the ways from us. They were close enough for us to hear their conversation,
Hmm.
especially since one of them just was yelling, when
Yeah.
he was talking. They were black, and I could tell they were young. They were probably
Hmm.
like maybe maybe anywhere between 17 to 21 years old, perhaps, smoking and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And then one of them, he just sounded so angry. He was just, how they talk, man. Oh my mama, I'm gonna tell you, my brother doing. 10 years. I got another brother doing 22 years. I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, you got one brother doing 15. You got one brother. He was saying it like it was something proud or something.
Yeah.
Like just the way he was saying it, man. He was like, man, if a FN, if you know what an FN is,
Yeah.
come on now, read the room. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If it was, I'm gonna put a FN in the dirt, just talking like that, you know, just looking sloppy and everything. Just I'm like, oh my, and it started to piss me off, man, because my kids was over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you over here yelling and all that stuff. I'm like, man, look, it's too late for this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no patience for you kids.
Yeah.
So that was that's just a little portion of what goes on in their neighborhood, the things that they embrace, the things that they championize, the things that they love. Cause to them, they just, I don't know, man. It's almost like they're living a life of like no hope. So we're
That's
just
what it
gonna
boils down to.
this is what it's just like they have this is just the way it's gonna be. You know, my mama was a crackhead. My daddy was locked up. And they say this stuff like again, like this is something proud to just be telling the world. Like you wouldn't want anybody to know that information, you know,
Right.
about your mom and your dad, you know, first of all. But and it's almost sad because some of these people, young and the girls too, in some cases, I've seen them get ratchet too. I mean, they not innocent either, but it's almost like they were like destined to fail or something like that, which you know kind of leads me to the point of you know how the world sees them. Um, you know, we live in this society to where you know white people they're a little hesitant to speak on these things.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little hesitant, you know, because they don't want to be called the racist white person. They don't want to be called the judgmental white person. If they say the wrong thing, it's almost like if they say the word black, they're racist now. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What you want them to say? Green people? You know, just call them the ace an ace, or call a spade a spade. If you black and you a troublemaker, just say it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I've you know I've heard some white people who you know who voice their minds a little bit on it and like you know it's sad. This is what I've heard. They say it's sad that it's like that, and that you know that community is just going downhill. Cause that's a whole generation, brother. A
Mm-hmm.
whole generation. Could you imagine? Cause some of them have kids too.
Yeah.
Can
It's
you just imagine? Because unfortunately,
bro.
some of them they don't come out of it. They don't come out of it. Some of them either they go to
Hey,
prison
are
or
they
they
in the
die,
dirt? Mm-hmm.
one of the two. You know, that's a whole generation, and it's something that I think about here and there. But then it's like I told my wife the other day, I was like, man, well, I feel for him, but I'm not gonna do anything. I mean, what the heck can I do? Like I'm not these some of these kids, you can't reason with them. You know,
No, you can't. No, you can't reason with them at all.
you can't talk to them, you can't reason with them, and they don't know how to talk, man. Some of them they just 100% pure emotion, like no rationale, no thinking, just instinct of just it's almost like shoot later, don't talk at all. Not shoot, not talk later, but just don't say
Mm.
anything at
Yep.
all. And you know how the world sees them, man. It's once again, man, like something else to give a bad reputation to black folks, which I don't agree with because most of us, I would like to think, most of us are not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of us are not like that. Every nationality has their thorn in the side. You know, it's like white people, they'll say, you know, not all white people are racist, and they're not.
Mm.
I know
Agreed.
I know some amazing white people, man. Great,
Uh,
great people, generous people, great people, helpful people. And just like black folks, I mean, I know some black people that are wealthy, some black people that are helpful, some black people that are generous, some black people that will do whatever they can to give back to their neighborhood. You know, I just don't want, because in some cultures, overseas, they kind of look down on black people because of the media tends to highlight the negative. You know what I'm saying? They tend to highlight
Right.
the bad stuff, like welfare queens, YNs, you know what I'm saying, rap music, like overseas. That's all they know when it comes to black people, because you know the media is never going to highlight the positivity that goes on in black culture. They're just never going to do that.
Yep.
You know, so yeah. I don't believe that the world sees him as a positive, but if you have any common sense, you would know you don't put all of the throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah. Nah, you can't. And like the comment says, you know, people like and want to be feared off the dumb stuff they do. And that's pretty much it. You know, like you were saying, how can that kid be proud that both his brothers are in jail doing time? You
The way
know, it's like,
he said it like he was loud and proud, man.
yep. And then, you know, how you mentioned, um, you know, mama was a crackhead, daddy was locked up, you know, it's almost like they're wanting validation just for them to say, I didn't need nobody. Look at me now, type thing. Like I had to do this.
Mhm.
I had to get it out the mud by myself. You know, grandmama couldn't help me. You know, she couldn't stop me. So
Yeah, because a lot of
this
them
is me.
are in the care of their grandma.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I seen the cases. You know, the mom really is strung out or out there selling herself, and the dad dead or in jail, and the child is with the grandma.
Hmm.
You know, you old people, they're not gonna like fight too hard. You know, they're gonna kind of let you do
Right.
what you want to do.
Yep.
And, you know, we've seen this story like over and over and over. You know, it kind of takes me back to movies from the 90s, like South Central.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Movies like that, movies like Boys in the Hood, stuff like that. Man, like here you have these ghetto stories of kids just trying to make it in the hood, which was it was a bit of a different term because you know all of them wasn't just gang banging. You know what I'm saying? Like someone was just trying to get through school, or someone was about to get ready to go to college, and then you got Cube to get the gang banger.
Hmm.
You know, the one game maker in the group and stuff. But now it's like I don't really know the stories. Like some people are like, well, you know, you gotta get to know them. I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, man. Y'all, you create these YNs that created a reputation that makes them terrorists. You know, and I've heard people try to like make excuses for this behavior. Like this is all they know, their upbringing, their parents, like this and like that. I'm like, there's no excuse for terrorizing the neighborhood, man. I'm
It's
sorry.
not. Nope. It is
Like,
not.
I don't care what you've been through. Like, what do you think? What? So you've been through some stuff. So we just supposed to just look the other way and give you a pass? No, that's not how this works. It's not how this works. I watched the remember the video I sent you a couple weeks back of that woman stealing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
she was stealing out of Burlington, and she had like kids. Her kids were with her, and she's like, the folks was like, "We got you on camera. You going to jail. And she still kept trying to push the basket out of the door. She said, I gotta do what I gotta do for my kids. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me steal for my children. Like, so when you get picked up, because you will, and you go to jail,
Then what's gonna
what you
happen to
gonna
your kids?
what's gonna happen to your kids? What then what? How does that work? Like I said, the rationale and the logic is not there. It's just not. And with these kids that's out here acting crazy and stuff, like this guy used to train, he's 40 some years old, right? He used to live street. Well, I don't know. He told me he used to live street life. I know he did for sure. That I do know. Whether he left it alone 100% is what I'm not sure of. I
Mm.
don't know about that. I said, I just think you older now. And
Yeah.
you can't do what you used to do. I don't know if you're 100% out of it, but he got shot and everything. So not a bad guy. We talk, he cool, but not somebody I would hang out with. Put it like that.
Mm. Okay.
I remember he called them demons. He said those are demons. I said,
Wow.
wow, that's saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He said, those are demons. He told me, he said, man, I don't go out to the club. But he went to the club a couple years ago. Went out to the club and it was a shooting. He's like, the one night I go to the club, it's a shooting. Some teenager shooting up, shot somebody or whatnot. And then it
Wow.
happened. And then it happened again at a dude. It happened at a kid's baseball game. Okay, a kid's baseball game. And he was there this time.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw it and messed him up. Dude got killed right there. I'm
Yeah.
like, I said, the recklessness of going out in public doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the stories about shootings at the homecomings?
Oh yeah, 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 man. Especially here. Especially here. I think there was a shooting at almost every homecoming at college, except for pretty much at the HBCU colleges. There was a shooting at at
Why?
the homecomings. There was some shootings at some high school games. Like even to this day, right now, like the I guess the sports administration for the different high schools, the different districts, they're like, we're not telling you y'all don't have to, but we would encourage y'all not to tailgate at homecoming at any football game anymore. There's been a couple football games that have been canceled because of this. Um, but there was a young woman, a young mother actually, from my hometown. I didn't know her, but she was from my hometown that was actually unalived at one of the homecoming games. Um, it's getting crazy. It like absolutely crazy. Like folks lose innocent people losing their lives because these YNs want to act tough and prove a point.
I think that even though it's gotten worse, with this generation, I feel like this generation is even more cowardice as well. Like, again, they don't like back then when stuff like this would happen, they would fight. Cause I'm telling you, brother, like I remember when I was in high school, yeah, middle school as well, middle school, high school, I just never heard about anybody getting shot. And if it was just some random thing that happened with somebody, somebody shot
Right.
somebody, it was never like stuff that happened.
And I hate to say it like this, but I'm gonna say it. if somebody got shot back in our day, there was a reason behind it. It wasn't just because, oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go shoot this person.
Mm-hmm.
That was an absolute reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't just you looked at me wrong or whatever the case may be. Like it was now I guess it depends on where you were. Like, if it was like LA or something like that's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles. Because again, that was like where a lot of gangs were heavy. It was not anything out of the ordinary for that type of stuff over there, but over here it wasn't like that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I know what happened here, and I can probably speak for you too. This is gonna sound terrible, but a lot of this started changing around Hurricane Katrina. Like a lot of people came from here, from New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
and New Orleans is violent over there. It's pretty bad. Baton Rouge and places like other places too. It's rough, and some of them came migrated over here. Had kids and turned out like what you see. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Exodus. We got throw some Bible in here. This reminds me of the Exodus when God told Joshua to go into the land of Canaan and to kill all of these different tribes, like the Amorites, the Hittites, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And this is where a lot of people have a problem, with the Bible, because God, and it's there, it's not a secret. He says to kill everyone, the women, the
Yep.
men, the children, kill them all. And this is where it stops, where a lot of people have a problem. I say, you know what? If you're looking at this from the spiritual aspect, I understand. I get it. Because if you don't, they will grow up and
And they will be. Yep.
they'll kill you. That's what's gonna happen. They'll develop into, now I'm not saying what you think I'm saying. I'm just thinking of the scriptures as far as like how things can just generationally be pushed down, and if we can take it to a more modern standpoint, like one of my clients, he served in Iraq during 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, over there, they train their children to shoot to
Yep.
kill,
Yep.
and he's like, the soldiers having to shoot the soldiers, and they would take the kids and put them in front of them and make them shoot. And it's like they really didn't have a choice but to defend themselves. He's either do this or die.
Right.
One of the two things. And he had to have a lot of therapy after that, and during war, that's what they say. Like, if you don't take care of everybody, then that next generation is gonna come after you at some point. You know what I mean? And my point is, like I said, those people that came from different places, and I know this sounds bad, just hear me out, procreated and raised their kids the way that they came up, and they
Mm-hmm.
ended up being worse than them. And now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
those little cute babies then are a problem now. Now, I'm not saying that something should have happened to them or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, but what I am saying is that I wish that mom and dad would have turned things around maybe when the child came in, and then made things right, raise your kids correctly so they don't turn out to be YNs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because YNs are a product of the men and women who came up in our day. These are their kids.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, granted, we get to a certain age, we everyone has a choice to make. Whether you decide you want to be a good citizen, or you want to be a terrorist, or you want to be a delinquent, or you want to be somebody in the world, that's up to you.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
yeah,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you fine. Go ahead.
Finish yours.
I was gonna follow up with a question, actually. Do you
Ah,
think that they're like mentally incapable of changing?
No, absolutely not. Which honestly, you asking that question was kind of going to my point. That's why I put who they really are.
Yeah.
These kids can be anything they wanted to be. Like, okay, many of these professional athletes, like mainly some of the basketball players that I know,
Mm.
they came from their life. Like the football players came from that life. So yes, it is very possible that these kids can grow out of it. The question is, do they want to grow out of it? Because I'm sure most of these kids are like, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to, start a family. But if you continually doing the things that you're doing now, and you end up, you know, getting married and procreating, and your child starts to see that you just started a whole nother cycle and a
Yeah.
whole new generation. So my thing is, like I said, yeah, these kids, they can be whoever, whatever they want to be. They can be a doctor, they can be a lawyer, they can be a business person, CEO, whatever the case may be. But you got to want to get out of it. But
Yes.
I think most of these people are scared to get out of it because back in our day when we got gang affiliated, when we got jumped in, it wasn't no getting out.
We can't get out.
It wasn't no getting out at all.
Can't get out. What's up, Sean? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Good afternoon,
Good
happy
morning. Good
Sunday.
afternoon.
Well, I take that back. If you get jumped in and you want to get out, you got to get jumped out.
It's
So
like
you,
it's like, I like, I love Yakuza, of course. Um, so once you're in, you're in. You can't get out. But you don't know, there's two ways you can get out. Death
mm-hmm,
or some it has to be like a dishonorable like discharge out or something like that, and you have to cut off your pinky. You cut your pinky off and give it to the head of the family, and then you can go
yeah,
or whatever the case may be. And then most of the people that would leave would end up unaliving themselves because of the shame of being a ex yakuza family member. Because over in Japan, honor is everything.
mm-hmm,
Oh my gosh, they can't stand shame for nothing. You know, But I guess, I agree with you. They can be whatever they want to be, but it's gonna be like, do they want to?
mm-hmm,
And I don't think that it's anything that one person can really do to change everything that's going on right now. You pray for them, of course, you can do that. Um, I'm sure there's got to be some of them out there that's like, I want more than this out of life. I do. I
yeah,
watched. Do you remember? I tagged you in something a while back on Facebook. It was these grown men talking to these young black boys.
mm-hmm,
Remember
mm-hmm,
that? Did you send
yeah.
that to me? Well, I sent that to you.
I think you sent that to me.
Okay. And the boy was sitting there talking, just basically pouring out his feelings, how he
Mm,
felt, how the things he was going through, how he felt like he wasn't heard, how he felt like he don't know how it feels like to be loved and stuff like that. Now, when I watch stuff like that, that gets me.
yeah,
I say, okay. I said there is hope because I still believe that the YNs is a small portion of young black males.
yeah,
Not a large portion. It's not a large portion. It's not. I think it's a small portion that gets amplified, which I was going to make a point earlier on as to how it was going on back in our day, but the only difference is it's being publicized now.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have these back then, and the ones we did wasn't like this.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have anything to broadcast the stuff that went on back in the day. You know, now they going live on TikTok, jumping people and shooting and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then that stuff is being taken, and then the world sees it, and it's like, oh my gosh, like look at this. So that's the only difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I guess a closing point, I guess, is a question, and I'll pose this to you and to the chat as well. Like, what can we do, or is there anything we can do?
I think that there could be something we could do. I don't want to say there's nothing we can do, because there's always something we could do. But when we say we, it's gonna have to be some stand-up black men. First of all, they have to be black. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that they have to be.
Oh
They
yeah,
can they
most
cannot be
definitely.
they cannot be white. They can't. Nah, man, they got to be black. Okay. Um, I feel like creating more opportunities for who wants it. Meaning, here's an example. Let's just say me, you, three other stand-up men say, hey, we're gonna do like an outreach. You know what I'm saying? At this
Mm,
particular place, and we're gonna be teaching. Like, it's not gonna be something like we just gonna beat you over the head, like, oh, you're bad and you're a scum to society. Like, nah, let's start talking about basic stuff.
yeah.
Let's start talking more about trade school. Let's talk about, how to change tires. Let's talk about just essential things like young men should know,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe their fathers didn't teach them. Just having that outreach, because a lot of them, all they really want is somebody to care,
Yeah.
I feel. Because when you're that age, you don't know anything. You really don't, man. You're going off of pure emotion, like you don't know nothing whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's gonna have to take, because I don't think it's something they can do on their own.
Yeah.
They need assistance, because they kind of came into the world at a disadvantage.
That
They
part.
came in with one arm behind their back. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really have a fair shot, so to speak. It's not about being born into wealth or money, but they didn't even have a fair shot when it came to just learning and being in a positive environment. Even that right there is the recipe for, whether you make the right choices in life, is, being born in a positive environment. So there is
Yeah.
something we can do, but I guess the real question is who's willing to do it?
That's
Because
the number one question.
who's willing to do it? Like, if you care that much, are you willing to take the time out of your busy schedule? Are you willing to invest whatever money needs to be invested together with whoever? Like, if you really care that much, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some men are able, some may not be. I just know, don't let's not complain about it. If we're gonna just sit on the side and not offer something to try to alleviate it, because you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And some of them are just going to do what they want, but I do know that there's some out there who possibly could bypass falling between the cracks.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's about. Let's trying to get as many of them to not fall between the cracks as we possibly can.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like you said, a outreach program would work wonders. Just like that
Mhm,
video that you sent,
mhm, mhm,
because, like you said, honestly, I think some of these YNs, they're misunderstood, and there's nobody that is willing to try to understand them, like why I am the way I am. You
Hmm.
know, deep down, I could be a really great kid. I could have been getting straight A's. I could have been star athlete or this, but because of how I was brought up or how I've been I've been perceived in the world, I have to have that persona. I gotta live up to that persona, basically.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of adults are they're afraid,
hmm
because they see what happened. They hear the stories. They don't want to take that chance of you know, something happening to them, but trying to do something positive because that's happened too.
yeah,
In some cases.
yeah. That part Avion for sure. Also, welcome in, Carlos. How's it going, brother? Social media has normalized behavior.
Yeah, and we just talked about that earlier, Avion, how the world looks at them because the media always highlights the negative things in our culture.
hmm
They never highlight the wealthy black people. They never highlight the black people that actually do give back and help others. They don't never highlight the stand-up black men, the fathers. They always highlight the fatherless habits that sometimes that they put on the news and the media, like we don't take care of our kids,
hmm
or that every black woman is like a welfare queen. And it's just, yeah, man. Dude, social, man, that's a whole nother topic.
A whole nother topic. Well, at least we know what we can talk about next time.
Yeah, since it's never the positive, Avion. We were just saying, like, some of us need to stand up and force them to see it. You
hmm
know what I'm saying? Like, that's why with me, like, I post a lot of photos, like, and videos and stuff on social media, like me and my kids and my wife and stuff like that, just
hmm
so people can actually get conditioned. Like, all black men are not the same. Some of them actually do want to be married. Some of them
hmm
are married. Some of them do have careers. Some of them are
hmm
successful. Some of them do take care of their children. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not like rich. I mean, yet.
I mean,
We will be
technically,
there.
te-
Go
let,
ahead.
let's put it this way. Technically, you are rich, but you know, earthly wise, we're
Oh
not there
yeah.
yet.
Not, but we will be. But we will be. Trust me, we will be. However, I do feel like I'm successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do. I feel like I'm successful. I've been through a lot, and compared to where I am now, I feel like I'm successful. And
hmm
and talking about that is, you can counter what social media likes to try to put out there. You can counter it by not being quiet and by sharing. Like I said, if you care enough to turn the
hmm
pendulum around, you can let them know. All of us are not like that.
hmm
It's like white people. Like, all white people are not racist.
Yep.
There's narratives on the news as well that try to make them look bad in certain aspects. So, and they're not all like
Yep.
that. Most of them are not like that.
But the media,
Yeah, it's not your friends.
it is definitely, yep, definitely not your friend.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
we are all successful.
Yeah,
We are all successful in our own way. You know,
that's right.
some people like
Yeah,
to take the shortcuts. Other people's that just like to get grimy. You know,
right.
but one way or the other, we are all successful. Um, let's see. Carlos says sometimes all someone needs is a fighting chance, someone that extends a helping hand, a word of guidance, a real example that is approachable. Oh my goodness, 1000%.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Hey, I have so many white people who have done far more for me than my own. Look, I talk about that
Man,
all the time. Beyond, I talk about that so much that is sad. It's almost
man.
embarrassing, man. I've had like my whole life, somebody white came along and did something that allowed me to level up. Let me just put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just an act of kindness, an act of generosity did something to help me level up. And black folks did everything to pull me down. That's just my personal experience. And I love my people. But that's what
Yep.
happened. That's my personal experience. And that's not all of them. Not all, but again, that's what I've been through.
Well, there's another topic. Where's my
Man,
where is my handy dandy notebook?
topic. Who pushed you up and who pulled you down? Man,
Oh my goodness.
I think a lot of times people equate success with financial stability. They do.
They do.
They do.
1000%.
That's just a part. There's so many different aspects of success. Like you could be financially stable, but then neglect your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't spend no time with your wife. Don't go to your kids' games. That ain't success. You just got money.
Yep.
You know?
And don't know what to do with it.
Man. Well, folks, we really appreciate y'all for coming through. As we talked about this hard topic here, which, I just knew we had to touch it because, at the end of the day, these are our people, man.
Mm-hmm.
These are our people, and that's a whole nother generation. Listen, fellas, to the guys that's in the chat and you black, that go for you too, Carlos. You are a Spanish speaking brother. Okay. Look, brother, you don't look too much different from me, man. Okay.
Team light
Okay.
skin.
Check this out, man. We got to do something. We have to do, even if small or big, contribute to our community in one way, shape, or form, because that YN generation from 15 years old to 20 or whatever, some of them have kids. Okay. And they need to be mentored to raise those kids so that we don't see our people just really take a nosedive, because we're not going to be here forever, y'all. We're not going to be here forever. And I just feel like the millennials is a really, really crucial generation, because we're still at an age to where we ain't old, but we ain't young either. We like right down the middle of being people who are old enough to be respected and taken serious.
Yeah.
And listened to as well, because if we don't, then we're gonna lose a whole generation of people. Because again, we can't. It's not about saving everybody. It's about trying to get the ones from falling in between the cracks.
That part.
So about to get out of here. I gotta go to the fair soon. You got any shameless plugs you want to hit us with, brother?
No, just normal stream stuff. I've been trying to stream every day this week this month as I could, but it don't pan out like I wanted to. But
life. It's all right.
Yeah, it's life. It's definitely life. So I really don't have any. Well, besides the end of the month bit-a-thon I got going on. As some of y'all know, October is gonna be my last month streaming. For a little bit. Just preparing myself for fatherhood and everything. So I'm doing a bit-a-thon on Halloween night. Gonna be playing some scary games. Might throw some Battlefield 6 in there. We don't know. It just kind of depends on how the night goes. But I will go ahead and say this. We will not be live next week unless D wants to do a solo himself. Me and Mrs. Bearded are doing our baby moon this weekend. So no, this is gonna be the big trip before the baby comes. So I will be out of commission this Sunday. So like I said, if D wants to do one himself, most definitely go for it, bro. And other than that, that's all I really got.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, for me, I don't really have any shameless plugs. You know, just I'm doing a lot of YouTube stuff right now. Honestly, that's kind of what my focus is at the moment. I got one of my channels actually here in the chat. Some of y'all might saw, some of you probably didn't see it, but if you're not subscribed to it, it's right there. The hold on, there it is. The one millennial gaming. So it was formerly initial retro rewind, but I changed it a little bit. I was talking to my wife. I wanted to do something different with the trajectory of that channel. I did do a stream on there last night. So I'm trying something a little different. Because I don't know about you, like when I watch play throughs on YouTube, I don't really like commentary too much. I just like to watch the game, either to watch to see how it's played through, or to just kind of have it playing in the background or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking and there's no camera. It's just the game. And you know, I was in here streaming last night. She was over here on her iPad. It was very relaxing. You know, I was just leaning back in the chair, just playing and streaming. You know, it was different. So I'm gonna be trying that for a little while, just to kind of see how that goes. And yeah, just y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel, man, and keep that going. But besides that, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, again, great episode. Thank everyone that came out this afternoon, whether you were on YouTube or Twitch. And again, if you are on YouTube, make sure you smash that thumbs button, share the podcast, subscribe if you're new, comment below your thoughts, because we love to get comments after the live. You know, that way we can always respond and everything.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, if you're on Twitch, drop a follow. We definitely appreciate it. But until next time, y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Get as much rest because tomorrow starts a new week. So
that's right.
Without further ado, love y'all. Bearded out.
Peace.
Y'all know me, Bearded Legend G, with my co-host Initial D, bringing that heat in the Twitch street. Grab your popcorn, kick up your feet, sit back, relax. We about to blow. Welcome to our channel. Enjoy the show. Hey.
Hard conversation, brain stimulation, BGID, no imitation. Look, pull up on the mic. Two bearded guys is rocking the night. Sub on YouTube and follow on Twitch. I guarantee it's gonna be a hit. It's showtime.